Two women have alleged they were raped during the filming of Married at First Sight UK, according to a BBC investigation that prompted Channel 4, a British broadcaster, to remove all previous seasons of the reality TV show while it reviews the allegations. The show, known as MAFS, bills itself as a bold social experiment in which single people marry strangers who meet for the first time on their wedding day, although the marriage is not legally binding. The couples, while being filmed almost daily, then go on honeymoon, move in together and navigate their relationship.
Carlos Alcaraz says he will skip Wimbledon as he recovers from the right wrist injury that also forced the Spaniard out of the French Open, the world #2 men's tennis player said on Tuesday. The 23-year-old seven-time Grand Slam champion has not played since withdrawing from the Barcelona Open last month.
At least 22 people have been killed in Israeli attacks on Lebanon in the past 24 hours, according to the country's health ministry, despite a 45-day ceasefire extension. The total death toll since March 2, when the fighting resumed between Israel and Hezbollah, has reached 3,042. The ministry said in a statement published on Tuesday, 24 hours after reporting 3,020 deaths. The United States is heading into one of its most consequential midterm elections in decades. On November 3, every seat in the House of Representatives and a third of the Senate will be up for grabs in what amounts to the country's first major verdict on Donald Trump's second term as president. United States President Donald Trump says Chinese leader Xi Jinping has assured him that Beijing would not send weapons to Iran during the ongoing war. The statement on Tuesday came after Trump returned from his three-day visit to China last week, after which the US president hailed several trade agreements but made no major breakthrough on the US-Israel war on Iran.
Pakistan Airport Authority, PAA, on Tuesday extended restrictions on Indian aircraft using Pakistani airspace until June 24. According to a fresh notice to airmen, NOTAM, issued by the PAA, Pakistani airspace will remain closed to all aircraft registered in India.
The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank has approved a $320.16 million loan for the reconstruction of key sections of the N5 highway under Pakistan's Resilient Recovery and Infrastructure Rehabilitation Framework. The loan agreement was signed by Economic Affairs Secretary Mohammad Humair Karim Kidwai and AIIB Chief Investment Officer Konstantin Limitovsky. When coach Carlo Ancelotti read aloud the list of players who made the cut to Brazil's World Cup squad, one name earned the loudest cheers. Neymar Jr. After months of sweating over his fitness, the 34-year-old forward breathed a sigh of relief as he earned a place in Brazil's 26-man squad for the tournament in North America, which begins on June 11.
A car bomb explosion near a Syrian Defense Ministry building in Damascus has killed at least more than 20 people, authorities say. In a statement carried by state media on Tuesday, the ministry said members of an army unit had discovered an improvised explosive device planted near the site in the Bab Sharqi district of the capital. As they moved to defuse it, a car bomb exploded in the same area, it added, without offering more details.
Philippine authorities are investigating Senate security officers who discharged their weapons without provocation, while a senator facing an international criminal court, ICC arrest warrant, took shelter inside the legislative building and later escaped. Juanito Victor Remulla, Secretary of the Interior and Local Government, on Tuesday said the May 13 shooting was not an attack on the Senate, adding that there was no one in the area when the gun was fired.
A court in Pakistan has sentenced Umar Hayat, 23, to death for murdering a 17-year-old TikTok and Instagram influencer whose killing last year had reignited a debate about women's safety. Tuesday's verdict is a lesson for all such criminals in society, said Hassan Yousaf, the father of Sana Yousaf, who was shot dead at her home on June 2nd last year.
Hackers have compromised several popular open source projects relied on by software developers all over the world in an ongoing cyber attack. On Tuesday, cybersecurity firms Step Security and SafeDep warned of the latest wave of so-called supply chain attacks, which aim to compromise developers of popular open source projects and use that access to plant malicious updates that are pushed to users downstream. If you were looking for a sign to try out a dumb phone, here it is. The trendy minimalist light phone is joining forces with Noble Mobile, a phone network founded by entrepreneur and politician Andrew Yang that gives you money back if you use less data. On Tuesday, 500 Light Phone 3 models will be in stock and ready to ship through Noble Mobile. The catch is that you have to sign up for a 2-year Noble Mobile phone plan at $50 per month, which comes out to $1,200 for the contract. Andre Karpathy, the AI researcher who co-founded and formerly worked at OpenAI and PrivatAI at Tesla, has joined Anthropic. I've joined Anthropic. Karpathy posted on X Tuesday. I think the next few years at the frontier of LLMs will be especially formative. I am very excited to join the team here and get back to R&D.
The Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, PTA, has directed all cellular mobile operators, CMOs, to suspend the sale of SIM cards across the country between 12:00 a.m. and 6:00 a.m. According to the directive, all authorised SIM sale channels, including franchises and retail outlets, must strictly adhere to the prescribed timings.
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Tuesday underscored Pakistan's strides as a net regional stabiliser, contributing to peace and stability in the region and beyond, according to the Prime Minister's office, PMO. The Prime Minister made the remarks during his address to faculty members and student officers at the Command and Staff College in Quetta on Tuesday.
Hyderabad. Adilpur police registered a first information report of the alleged gang rape of a teenage girl in Sindh's Gotki district on Tuesday, more than 2 weeks after the incident was said to have taken place. The FIR, a copy of which is available with Dawn, was registered against 5 suspects on the complaint of the girl's father under Section 376(2) of the Pakistan Penal Code.
Satellite images have revealed the scale of 2 wildfires spreading in Southern California. The Sandy Fire ignited on Monday morning in the city of Simi Valley, northwest of Los Angeles, according to California Governor Gavin Newsom. Far-right Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said on Tuesday that the International Criminal Court's prosecutor is seeking a warrant for his arrest in what he called a declaration of war. In a speech delivered from his office in Jerusalem, Smotrich did not say why the court is seeking a warrant, but he suggested it's because of the massive expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank that he has pushed. Israel and Argentina have launched a direct flight starting in November as the two countries boost their ties under Argentina's far-right President Javier Milei and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The twice-a-week flight comes as Israel is aggressively pushing to cement its geopolitical footprint in Latin America amid its growing international isolation and its entrenched image as an occupying power.
US cybersecurity agency CISA may have escaped a sizable security breach thanks to a good faith security researcher who identified publicly exposed credentials that allowed access to government cloud and internal agency systems. As first reported by independent security reporter Brian Krebs, Guardian security researcher Guillaume Valadon found reams of exposed plaintext credentials listed in spreadsheets, which had been made publicly accessible in a GitHub repository by an employee working for a CISA contractor. LG has introduced a new Ultra Gear gaming monitor that claims the world's first full HD monitor with a native 1000 Hz refresh rate. The monitor has a 1920 by 1:80 resolution and is designed for fast-paced first-person shooter games, where accurate aiming and quick reaction times matter most.
A government primary school in Chiniot has come under scrutiny after reports emerged that classroom fans were allegedly switched off to save on electricity costs, forcing students to study in severe heat. The incident was reported from government primary school in Chak 131 Lonawala, where students were allegedly made to sit through classes without fans despite the rising temperatures.
Pakistan's Ministry of National Health Services, Regulations and Coordination has made HIV and hepatitis B and C screening mandatory before all surgical and invasive medical procedures across the country. The ministry issued directives for the immediate implementation of infection prevention and control measures to help curb the spread of HIV and hepatitis infections. Thailand has approved a plan to reduce the length of visa-free stays for tourists from more than 90 countries as part of efforts to curb crimes involving foreign nationals. The decision was approved by the country's cabinet on Tuesday, Tourism Minister Surasak Phangcharoenwarakul told reporters in Bangkok. Apple has confirmed that its annual Worldwide Developers Conference, WDC, will begin on June 8. The company has also started inviting members of the press to the event, according to 9 to 5 Mac. This year's WDC tagline is "Coming Bright Up."
Islamabad. Capitol Police on Tuesday stopped Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi from reaching Adiala jail in Rawalpindi to meet incarcerated PTI founder Imran Khan. Imran, imprisoned since Aug 5, 2023, for concealing details of Toshakhana gifts, is serving a 14-year sentence at Rawalpindi's Adiala jail in a $190 million corruption case, also known as the Al-Qadir Trust case. Islamabad. The Federal Investigation Agency, FIA, Karachi zone on Tuesday suspended 2 officers and registered a case against a private individual over a recent raid on a jewelry shop in the metropolis's Sarafa Bazaar. The development came days after FIA Director General Dr. Rusman Anwar took notice of the incident and demanded a full inquiry, with the report to be submitted within 48 hours.
Islamabad. Pakistan and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, on Tuesday signed a $320 million loan agreement for the reconstruction and improvement of critical sections of the N5 highway, the country's longest national highway from Karachi to Torkham near the Afghan border. The loan agreement was signed for reconstruction of National Highway N5 under Pakistan's Resilient Recovery, Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Framework project, amounting to 320.16 million Ts.
A security guard at the Islamic Center in San Diego, California, has been hailed as a hero after he was killed while trying to prevent suspected shooters from entering the mosque complex in an attack police are investigating as a hate crime. At least 3 people were killed after 2 teenage attackers opened fire at the San Diego mosque on Monday. Authorities have yet to publicly identify the victims, but community leaders have named the guard as Amin Abdullah.